Hello there, my YouTube friends and fans. Look at what I got here. I never thought this is going to happen. Meaning me making another video about No Man's Sky. I played the heck out of this game like 4 or 5 years ago. I couldn't get enough. Put over 200 hours into it until I stopped because probably another game came along that felt more important to me at that time, and then I just never went back. But I'm currently in between games and I needed something to play, so I thought I'm gonna go back to No Man's Sky and see what all the fuss is about lately. I'm hearing a lot of good things, so I was definitely very curious to see how this game is still holding up after 5 years, but I did not remember anymore how to play. So I decided to start a new game, which at the beginning actually walks you through about everything that you need to know, and that was totally worth it. So the longer I spent in this game, so many amazing memories came back to me and things that I completely forgot about it. I was just like, oh my god, that's right, you can do this and then you can do that, and oh my god, I have all those bases that I built. Where are they? How can I find them? And it was funny that I actually enjoyed starting a new game. I didn't mind at all because I knew in the back of my head that I had, a 200 plus hours save with awesome ships and bases and materials and freighters and all that stuff. But I just enjoyed getting to know this game. Like, when you get into a new relationship and you have those butterfly feelings, and that's just how I felt. I was like, I don't mind having my little starter ship here and just being a student again. It was a lot of fun. But after spending about 20 hours in this new save, I thought I feel comfortable now. I seem to know everything again, and it's time for me to go back to my original save and just go and check things out. So the first thing I wanted to do is go and visit my bases, and then I realized, wow, I have way more bases than I remembered, and I don't even know most of them anymore. I have some memories and others I completely forgot what they're all about. Well, let's go check it out. The first one is called Valhalla, and as soon as I came here, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. This is just like one little box, and it's completely overgrown now. I haven't really done much here. It's mostly just like a safe spot because it's a cool planet, but there's nothing to this base really. So I didn't want to spend any more time here. I wanted to go to the next base, and I was like, which one? Let's try the Swiss Chalet. That sounds cool, but what the heck did I do? Yeah, this I remember, but that did not look like this. So what the heck happened here? So then I remembered this was actually a base I built into a mountain, and now you cannot really see anymore that it's inside a mountain. Somehow things glitched around a little bit. Everything is still here, but I can't really tell where the exit and entrance is. It took me a little while. I was really confused, and I was like, this is not going to work. Obviously, the developers made some changes to this planet, and it affected my base. I hope I can get out of this. And then I noticed if I put down some flooring, the cave walls actually start appearing again. But then I was like, I don't want to just kind of waste material here to just get this back up, because it might still not be right if I do all that, but at least I thought there is hope. So let's see if I can somehow get out, because my ship is also hanging up in the air somehow. So I just tried, and I was able to get here, but then I bumped into this almost transparent rock wall here, and it didn't let me pass. I was like, this is going to be a problem. I can't even destroy it. And then I was like, I guess I'm gonna be stuck here. I don't know if I can get out. But then I was like, let me try one more thing, and I kind of just put the jets on, and all of a sudden it glitched out of the mountain, and everything looked normal again. No more transparency, nothing. My ship is here. I was just hoping that I can start it later on. Well, first I just wanted to check out this base and see if it's worth saving, but where's the entrance? Somewhere here, I believe. So the game completely filled up my whole base with dirt and sand, and I was like, oh my god, this sucks. I don't even exactly anymore how it looked like, because, you know, how much dirt do I have to remove? I don't want to remove too much dirt. And after a while, I was like, you know what, that wasn't really a great base anyway. I'm just gonna get rid of it, but where's the base computer? Well, that was under the dirt too, but I found it. Here it is. But unfortunately, I could not find a teleporter, so I had to fly to the nearest space station where they always have a teleporter, and then go from there to my next base. And yeah, this is what was so missing in Starfield, is being able to fly from planet to planet, to space stations and whatnot, and just get that feeling of flying in space. It's just so amazing. It still feels like it felt to me like 5 years ago. It's super addictive. It's just so cool. You just feel so cool, you know, and then all the cool ships that you can have and all the stuff you can buy, and you can pick up shops here, you can sell your stuff. It's just all amazing. And there's the teleporter. So this time I wanted to select the base I actually knew very well about, because I spent a lot of effort on that base, and spent also a lot of time at that base. And I named it Birthday Cake, and I think I named the planet Birthday Cake too, because there literally was confetti on this whole planet. It was very colorful. But yeah, they made some changes to this planet too. And then when I got there, it was just like, oh yes, that is this base that I added a lot of rooms to. And not necessarily that I made the rooms very cool, but I did grow a lot of plants here. As you can see, I have a lot of storage here. I basically just made it very practical. I even have an upstairs, which I meant to use as a workshop. I have a science terminal and a neutron processor up here, but I remember I wanted to put a lot more stuff up there. Just wanted to kind of hide it away from the living area. And I just added more wings to it. I got a little crazy. I definitely wanted to make sure I have enough storage. Here's my teleporter, my safe unit. And then I look at my ship, and yeah, the landing pad is completely overgrown with new plants, as I found out, because I remember I scanned all the plants on this planet, but all of a sudden it says, well, unidentified plants. So yeah, I guess the devs just decided that this planet needed to change, and I was a little bit sad about it. It was also all red, and it was just not the planet I remembered, the cool, fun planet that it was, where it was more on the yellowish and green side. And yeah, it had like some sort of confetti flying through the air. That was really cool. And then when I was done with my gardening, it actually looked a lot better. You can see now the size of it. Oh my god, I was like, I forgot about this. I even built a really big terrace where I have a view over there of a crashed freighter. I went there to that freighter to get loot, and yeah, I mean, it was really cool. So I don't know why they made this planet all reddish and pink now. I feel kind of sad, because now I kind of don't want my base here anymore. But anyway, yeah, I got even some employees. And what I was really proud of is that I built a really big garage with a mechanic where that even fit my Colossus, even though this vehicle did not fit inside the garage. But I built a special spot right next to it, just so I could have a little fun with it. And so I was like, oh my god, I don't even know anymore what I did with this big vehicle. Well, maybe another time. I literally just came here to visit my bases. I don't want to spend too much time here, but you can see it's not as overgrown anymore. And this is the size of the garage. All the vehicles are probably on other planets right now. That's why it's empty. But this is my guy here. And he just happens to tell me about something really exciting that I have to check out before it goes away. So, of course, I was like, I have to do this. I actually didn't mean to stay on this planet, but let's go and check it out. A little bit later, I went back to a space station to go visit my next base. This time, it was the base called the Matterhorn. As you can tell, I love giving my bases Swiss names. So let's go and check that one out. So I definitely have memories of this base, but not every little detail. I just knew the location it was, which is way high up on a mountain, and I do remember it was super cold here. But it was a cool planet to explore. But as soon as I got here, I was just freezing my butt off, and I'm like, oh my god, there's not even a storm, and I'm already freezing so much. It's so cold. It's minus 96 degrees Celsius, which is about minus 140 degrees Fahrenheit. That is crazy. But thankfully the electricity in this house is fully working, which surprised me. And then I tried to check out my garden here, and it just glitched me right on top of it, which was odd, because I was like, wait a minute, what? Let's try this again. Next time I tried, the same thing happened again, and I tried a few more times. I just couldn't get inside the dome. It just always kind of glitched me right on top of it, and that really sucked because I didn't want to be out here. It was just too cold. And I remember that I built this, whatever you call it, like path all the way up the mountain. I wanted to get to the top of it. I never really finished it. But the reason for that is it is just so cold here. You can never really stay out too long, even with all the shields that I use to protect from freezing. It is not enough. This planet is just so cold. I waited until the morning so I could finally see a little bit better, and I thought maybe it's not so cold if the sun is out. And yeah, I was wrong. It was still exceedingly cold, but I still wanted to see if maybe I can finish this build here that I started. After all, I did spend quite a bit of time here figuring out how to build this, and I really wanted to finish it. But as you can see, the weather here is just so miserable. It seems like there is never really a nice time on this planet where you could just go explore and enjoy yourself a little bit. It's just miserable on this planet, absolutely miserable. And I remember that this used to not be like this. It was only cold when there was a storm, and all the other times you could literally just walk around on the planet and explore and have fun. I did try to toughen it out and think I'm gonna see if I can finish this build all the way to the top of the mountain anyway, but then a storm arrived and things got so bad that I couldn't even see anything anymore. And it was literally like the storms came so frequent that it didn't let a lot of time at all in between, where I was like, this is not even worth it. I can't even go anywhere. Look at this. I mean, my vision is going away. My visor is getting all iced up. I can barely see where I'm going. So that kind of was like, yeah, I'm done with this planet. I think I'm going to have to delete this base as well. There is not enough hot chocolate in the world to make you feel comfortable in this base. That is for sure. And the base visit I saved myself for last is this one, my absolute favorite base from the time I played 4 or 5 years ago. I absolutely love this base. I was exceedingly happy to find out that nothing changed here. Not the planet, not the base, nothing. Everything is intact, is exactly how I left it 4 or 5 years ago. And I still love it just as much. It is a beautiful planet, even though it's super cold here. But as you can see, I have plenty of solar panels and batteries here to get my base powered up as much as I need, get it warm inside, cozy. Yeah, we get to this later. Let's see the living area here. I got a weapon display. I don't really have much here. I think I just have one other multi-tool, the first one that I used, and then the new one I'm using now, which is like a unique one that I found by accident. Yeah, this never happened to me before, but this was a really lucky find. Isn't it cool? I got here a little couch, beautiful windows where I have a view. And then I have a weapons terminal, and then also a science terminal. And yeah, I was like, oh my god, I owe them so much salary. I'm such a bad boss. Here is a medium refiner where I can refine all the minerals. Very good to have, obviously. So let's go check out what gives this base its name. This took me a long time to build. I had a lot of trial and errors getting this just right, as you might see if you play this game. This was not easy to pull off, and I had the game actually fill in the dirt here over and over until I found out what I had to do to keep it out of my staircase. And this is the Batman cave. Look at it. It comes with a garage. Here is my Exocraft. And it's still here. Nothing has filled up with dirt. Everything is exactly how I left it. I was just blown away. Even that building over there is in its place. And then I noticed that I even put some lights outside the garage so I can find it easier when it's dark and I'm coming home from a long trip. And then I find that there is another Exocraft that I left here. I didn't even know about this. So yeah, there's another one, my little motorcycle, if you can call it that. Let's go and take it for a test drive. Whee! And then I discovered something that I completely didn't expect, and I realized that that must be something new that I added to the game in those years I haven't played. I am getting like an emergency broadcast, which I follow, and I am seeing a bunch of buildings here, and instantly I was like, oh my god, this is something new that I've never seen before. I cannot wait to check it out. This is so exciting. I'm always excited when I find something new in this game. I just couldn't figure out what the heck that was, but now it's telling me planetary settlements. It gives me an introduction and a little bit of a tutorial, and I'm like, alright, this is really cool. I can become the overseer of this settlement and manage it and make sure that those people are being helped and survive and hopefully thrive. Oh my god, I am so excited. But after checking out this village for a bit, talking to everyone, I realized that this planet is actually super toxic, and a storm arrived which forced me to get into my ship, and also we got attacked, so I thought I'm just gonna get into the air and see if I can get rid of those sentinels that are attacking this village. But the storm made it so hard to see anything. The storm got worse and worse and worse, and vision just went really, really bad, that I actually had a hard time even maneuvering around without hitting any buildings. And it wasn't very successful because I just couldn't see anything, but thankfully the storm didn't last too long, and once it kind of stopped, I could see the village again and land, but there were still sentinels in the village that I had to take care of. And with the weather being so clear, I had no problem seeing them all and just taking care of them and tell them to never come back. Well, that didn't work. They were constantly looming overhead, and every time I visited here again, they were back and I had to get rid of them again. It feels like that there's something I need to do to keep them away, but I'm just still at the beginning of building this settlement, so yeah, it's probably gonna take some time until this happens. And then it was time to actually check out my companions, which I almost forgot about. This one is my absolute favorite. Isn't he cute? I absolutely love him. He has been on many of my journeys. I have many other companions, but he is absolutely the best, and you can probably see why. He's just so amazingly cute and fun. He just makes me giggle every time. Look at him. He's such a happy camper. He dances for me, and then he just goes, whee! And then it was time for me to finally check out my freighters. It's been so long, but I remember that was always so much fun. So let's see, I'm just trying to figure out how to spawn my freighter. Here he is. Cannot warp. Here we go. Yeah, you cannot spawn them too close to a planet. Here we go. Let's go and check it out. This is my whole fleet here. Not really big, because I always thought it's gonna be too much work. The bigger it is, the more there's to do, the more there's to fix. the more fuel you need to get and all that. So I wanted to just keep it small here, but I have to admit, I actually grew it now that I played again. Yeah, it's a lot bigger in the meantime, but here I am checking out my freighter for the first time after 4 or 5 years. Wow, yes, memories definitely come back, but I do remember I had a lot of ships. So here is one ship that I just store here to eventually sell it. And then the other one, which is here, which is such an amazing one. I've never seen this one again. It's literally just a part of my collection. I don't fly it anymore. Here's the identical one to the other one, the one that I actually flew a lot. And then here's my starter ship. I just can't get rid of it because, you know, it's my starter ship. And in case you don't know much about No Man's Sky or don't play the game, this is basically the garage of the freighter. That's where you can store all your ships. But let's go upstairs. Here is basically the command center right here. I'm being greeted. And then back here is a really huge area where I can build whatever I want, but I am just checking in on my fleet that just came back from an expedition. I'm debriefing the commander. I can see the distance covered and all the log entries, and hopefully they came back undamaged, because if they're damaged, I have to fix them. So I'm ending the expedition. And then over here, I have another fleet command station. I don't know why I have two. Maybe it came like that. But anyway, it tells me there's no expedition right now. Over here, I have access to a storage container, which lets me store a lot of stuff, which I always do, obviously, because I don't want to carry so much stuff around. And this is not the only one. I have another one right here. And then I actually have two more. Alright, so let's go back into the command center here, and this is where I can do many things, but I can also talk to him, and he's telling me about new potential expeditions. I can select them. They are rated by difficulty, and just you can kind of see more about them, and I usually just kind of randomly choose them. I don't really care so much, but if you're very much into that, this could be very interesting, because you can earn a lot of money sending out ships. So I'm selecting which ships I'm gonna send. I have here my S ship, which is my best. I'm always a little bit worried about that ship getting damaged. But worst case scenario, I have to fix it. Oh yeah, and then you can add some upgrades to it. I'm just gonna randomly choose stuff. I am not sure if I know exactly if I'm doing this correctly. And then I sent them out on an expedition. So 3 ships are going out on an expedition again, and we're just gonna have to wait until they come back. Well, that doesn't mean I have to sit here and wait. I could do all kinds of things in the meantime, like explore the space and do other missions, and then eventually check back in. Oh yeah, I have a sales terminal in here too. Recently added it. Added this door, which really scared me because it just takes me outside and there are no railings, so if you fall over the edge here, you're like flying in space and nobody probably comes and rescues you. But I wanted to go out here anyway and just check it out, because I thought I'm gonna be brave now, even though I don't feel comfortable. So it didn't last long. I spent a few seconds and I was ready to go back in. I was like, please let me in, please let me in. Let's close this door. This is too scary for me. But yeah, I don't know, you could just make it a door that goes outside. And then I put posters up, and I have just, you know, rearranged some of those hallways. You can decorate everything, as you can see here. You can add more rooms. You can add furniture. It's actually really cool, the many things that you can do. And what I also always thought was so much fun in this game, that you can basically dig yourself on the ground anywhere and as deep as you want and as long as you want. There's really no limits, and digging yourself on the ground can help you so much in so many dangerous situations. It can be a very dangerous storm. As soon as you're on the ground, you are good and you can just wait it out, or you can get away from any other danger, like a dangerous animal, or for example this sentinel here, this walker. which can do a lot of damage to you. If you're not careful, you don't have any cover, which I kind of didn't have here. So I was just kind of being careful and recharging my health on the ground and just carefully chipping away on his health. But sometimes it's not very effective trying to sit in a hole and take out the enemies, especially those big walkers. It's better if you kind of get a better spot, like here, like an overground spot where you just take them out from the top and they can't really do a lot of damage to you. This worked really well for me in many ways. But the one thing I'm missing are the walker brains. All I found now is this container and no more walker brains. It's kind of weird because some recipes still ask for it. The other day I found this ship up on a tree and it literally seemed stuck on it because I watched it for a while and it didn't move, but I thought maybe nobody's in there and it's just damaged. So let's see if we can get it down. The tree disappeared and the ship flew away. Ha! But he flew right into the mountain and bounced off it and then eventually went away. So I was like, well, at least I saved him. He seems okay. Only to find out a few minutes later that he brought a buddy with him, and then I noticed that they were attacking this base. So I realized that they were pirates and I was like, oh my god, and I saved this guy. I should have just shot him down. And then I see the message where it actually tells me nearby transmission tower is under attack by pirates. Return to your ship to join the defense. Hostile ships remaining 3. So I call my ship and join the fight. And I'm not really that good at this. It depends on how good the pirates are, because I don't do that so often, so I still need a lot of practice doing that, but I actually managed taking them all out and getting the reward for it. It definitely felt good after I felt kind of guilty rescuing a pirate off a tree that I was able to take him down after all anyway. So then after playing about 40 more hours, I was like, it's time for me to build a new base, one that I had in my mind for quite some time while playing this game again. I wanted to have some sort of a villa or just a really modern house built inside the mountain. As you can see here, I kind of wanted it more inside the mountain, but this still turned out really, really well. I didn't want it to be like a cave. I just wanted it to be like the front sticking out and everything else be in the mountain. So I should have angled it a little bit better, but I'm still very, very happy with how it turned out, as you will see in a little bit. So first of all, I made this like really long staircase actually leading you down into the living area. As you can see, it's super cold, and as you get down here, it gets warm. And the first thing you see here is like a refiner and some other machinery. And then you get in here into the entrance area here where I have some furniture and some health stations and a weapon rack. And then here's this whole living area. It's not really big, but it's just for me. So I don't need a lot of space. I just want the space to be cozy. And of course, I had to have a wall of windows, because the view here is just incredible. I can sit here at my desk and just look out. Oh my god, I wish I had something like this in real life. Look at the sunset. Isn't that cozy? Like I said, it turned out just the way I wanted it. This did not take me too long to build, and I probably will add some more stuff to it, but as you can see, I didn't even actually need to build a staircase. I found out later that there is this teleporter now, where you could just teleport yourself underground, and I'm right in my living room. But I'm gonna leave the staircase anyway in case I don't have any power to my teleporter. So it's gonna be like more of an emergency entrance and exit. And I think that's a really good thing to have. I really like that there's a lot of lakes on this planet, and the winter storms are pretty short and not too bad. Not like the Matterhorn base that I showed you earlier. It is pretty manageable, and it's just a really beautiful planet, even at night. So yeah, that's my latest base that I really enjoyed building. I hope you enjoyed the little tour. It was very short, but I didn't want to bore you any longer because I think this video is getting a little long now. And I didn't want to put too much stuff in because a lot of people have played this game and know everything already. So I basically just wanted to show what I discovered and my experience coming back to this game after so many years. I have to say, I don't regret it a bit that I came back. I've had a ton of fun again this time, and I think I put another 50 hours in already, and we'll put in some more hours until the next game that I want to play comes out, which is in a few days. But I know that after that game, I probably will come back here again and play some more because there's still so much I want to do and see. And if you haven't played this game yet, I highly recommend it to you. If you're an Xbox, you can actually find this on Xbox Game Pass. So you don't even have to pay extra money for it. You can just pick it up and try it out. But let me tell you, be prepared. This is not a game that you could just pick up and play for 20 hours and then put it down again. You have to put a lot of work in it in order to actually experience the full potential this game has. So with that said, I am ending this video now. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and I hope to see you next time. Until then, happy gaming, take care, bye bye.